Back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Emily and I like talking about all things Salesforce. Today we're going to be going over part of my App Builder mini course series that I've been doing here on my channel, and we're going to cover sandboxes. So sandboxes are super important to the app lifecycle. The app development lifecycle is what they like to call it, but usually I call it an SDLC or a software development lifecycle. And it's also really important on the App Builder exam itself. Sandboxes come in different shapes and sizes, and whatever your company, I guess their type of Salesforce org that they have will be unlimited, performance, professional. Sandboxes may or may not be available, but we're just going to cover the quick reference for sandboxes as they appear on the exam. So there are 4 general types of sandboxes. There is the Developer Sandbox, Developer Pro Sandbox, Partial Copy, and Full Copy. Let's jump in and start with the Developer Sandbox. It has a refresh interval of 1 day, as you can see right here, as well as a data storage limit of 200 megabytes and file storage of 200 megabytes. Only metadata, which is objects, fields, app pages, apps, that kind of thing. And Sandbox Templates are not available. So it just generally brings over as much metadata as possible up to the data storage limit. This is really useful for working on individual projects. If you have a very, 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 very small org, like 100 users or less, you'll really only need to develop your new releases in one developer sandbox and then go ahead and push that to production. If you have a larger org, that let's say you have 3 admins or 3 developers, then every person should have their own developer sandbox to kind of try and meet the requirements for their specific project that they're working on. Right, the next one is a Developer Pro Sandbox. It's very, very similar to the Developer Sandbox. It has the similar refresh interval of 1 day, about 24 hours, metadata only, and no sandbox templates, but it has a bigger data storage limit, 5 times bigger, of 1 gigabyte of data storage and 1 gigabyte of file storage. So this sandbox is super helpful if you have a really, really code-heavy project, as well as maybe moving it up along your SDLC. It is really, really helpful maybe if you're having multiple people work on the same project. So let's say you have 2 developers working on a set of requirements, and then you have an admin coming in to test it. That is when Developer Pro Sandbox comes in really handy. Alright, the next sandbox is the Partial Copy Sandbox. So this one kind of has a different purpose when it comes to the SDLC. This one's really great for user acceptance testing. So having your users come in and try and destroy your project, which is always fun. And see if they can break it. And if not, then you're doing great. If they did break it, then you have to go back to the drawing board. But this sandbox has a refresh interval of about 5 days. So let's say you refresh it every weekend, and then on Monday you come in and you have a new partial copy sandbox. It has a storage limit. Data storage is 5 gigabytes, and file storage is the same as your production org. The data that's copied over is all metadata, or whatever you choose based upon your template, and some sample data. So, like I just mentioned, Sandbox Templates is like a blueprint of what you're going to bring over from your production org, and it lives in your production org, this template. So let's say you don't need custom object 1 and 2, but you want all accounts, contacts, opportunities to be brought over, the objects, and then some of that data that is in there. You also specify what data you want to bring over. So let's move on to the Full Copy Sandbox. This one has a refresh interval of 29 days, or about a month. The storage limit is the exact same as your production org. It brings over all data, all metadata, but you don't need to bring you don't need to bring over all of it, as Sandbox templates are available, but they're not required. So if you only want to bring over half of your data because you have a lot of data and it messes with your refresh time, that's an option too. So full copy sandboxes within the SDLC are super useful for for stress testing, deployment testing, and integration testing. So stress testing essentially is your production org going to break with how much data there is when you bring in more data. Deployment testing is great from partial copy to a full to make sure that when you go from full to production that nothing's going to break there and everything's going to go super smooth. And then integration testing is super useful. Let's say you have an integration with DocuSign that's going to be tweaked with this deployment. It is super useful to be able to make sure that that's not going to break and that whatever you're trying to do is going to get done. One quick thing to note about all these sandboxes is that once they are created, all emails will be amended so that email triggers won't fire and send out random sandbox emails. And when you're trying to log in, your username will also be amended with the name of the sandbox at the end of your username. So it'll be your username dot, if it's a UAT sandbox, it'll be UAT. And there was one more thing I wanted to mention, but I can't think of it right now. So thank you for joining me for this video. Be sure to catch me in the next video. Be sure to also like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.